Srinagar, the summer capital of the Jammu and Kashmir, was founded by Ashoka in 250 BC. Kalhan first time mentions the name as Sirinagri in his famous book Raj Tarangni. According to the author, amongst many capitals that Kashmir had, Srinagar was the most important one. Situated on the banks of river Jhelum, Srinagar has been a witness to change through different periods of history. The river flows, bisecting through the heart of the city. Srinagar has been the abode of all religions. Predominantly populated by Muslims, it's been famous for various religious monuments, including mosques and shrines. People of other faiths also find their worshipping places side by side, making Kashmir a land where Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs and Christians coexist. Called as the Venice of the East, Srinagar has been the pivot of all commercial, cultural, social and political activities. Being the central point, it does for a meeting place for the people from all over the valley. The shops and the showrooms with hand-woven apparels, wood-carved products and other such goods of handicrafts are seen everywhere in the main city. Centuries-old historical designs of art and architecture on one side, and newly constructed markets, buildings, roads and sites on the other. This is what makes Srinagar an excellent sample of tradition and modernity. Keeping pace with the fast-changing world, the inhabitants of Srinagar city are beginning to take up the challenges head-on. Well-grown, healthy people of the city enjoy the environs, which change with the changing modes of the weather. The natural grace of the city attracted one and all in the past, with Mughal rulers being no exception. Kings and emperors have left their mark, somewhere in the form of a memorable artistic work, somewhere by building monuments, and somewhere by making gardens where beauty beckons a beholder irresistibly. Among the mementos of the past, those which particularly stand out are the 4 Mughal gardens, situated in the foothills of Zabarwan. We begin our journey from Pari Mahal, meaning the abode of fairies, a ruined garden place with arched terraces perched higher up on the mountain slopes to the west of the Chashma Shahi. Name Pari Mahal appears to be a distorted version of Pir Mahal, built by Prince Dara Shakoo, the eldest son of Emperor Shah Jahan, in the year 1640 AD for his tutor Pir Mullah Shah. It's a 7-terraced garden located on the base of Zabarwan mountain range, overlooking the city of Srinagar and Dal Lake. In the uppermost terrace are the ruins of 2 structures, a baradari facing the lake and a water reservoir built against the mountain side. The reservoir was fed from above by a spring, which is since gone dry, and of which the only extant remains are the fragmentary stone conduit and the retaining wall against the hillside. It's a simple chamber built of rubble stone and lime, with a facade of 2 arches. At each corner of the terrace wall is a flight of steps leading to the lower terrace. In the middle of the second terrace, exactly in front of the baradari, is a large tank, Pari Mahal differs from the other Kashmiri gardens in that it does not possess any cascades or water chutes. This empty tank reminds us of the days when it had fountains and water. The facade of the retaining wall is ornamented with a series of 21 arches, including 2 of the side stairs. The double-rowed arches are built in ascending and descending order of height from the center. The ruined stone walls, ceilings and chambers lend this mahal a monumental touch. Carved through rocks, the dimly lit compartments of Pari Mahal are structurally woven together. The cabins are intricately connected that you enter one and find yourself in another. The rock-solid pillars of the Pari Mahal support the edifice above. The strength and the solidity of the stones used speak of the architectural sense the architects of the Mughal period possessed. The walls of the Mahal bear numerous square holes, which were probably intended to harbour flocks of pigeons. The third terrace is architecturally the most interesting portion of the garden. Entrance of the garden leads us to the third terrace straightway. The entrance, which is of the usual Mughal type, arched in front and behind, is in the middle of the east wall and is covered with a coat of fine painted plaster. On either side of the entrance is a series of spacious rooms. To its left, the library of the prince, and to the right, the traditional heating system, hammam. First 3 terraces were reserved solely for the prince's private use. These terraces stand out from the other ones of the garden for the artistic work involved in constructing arches and arcades. From here, one can have a beautiful overview of the area where the Mughal gardens are situated. The ruins and the remnants of the garden have the potential to attract the tourists in abundance. As the access is restricted due to security reasons, very few people manage to seek the permission and enjoy this wrecked glory. Coming down from the heights of Pari Mahal, we reach Chashma Shahi, meaning the royal spring. This is the smallest of all Mughal gardens of Kashmir. Built in 1642 during the reign of Emperor Shah Jahan, the garden is situated at a distance of 7 kilometers from Srinagar. The garden is a lovely sample of piling up of terraces, one over another. The lowest terrace has a tank in the center containing 5 fountains. Like Pari Mahal, this garden too for the last decade is not accessible for one and all. However, some visitors manage to visit the place. Lawns, fresh air, lush surroundings, coupled by a beautiful landscape of trees and mountains around. This is all what shapes up the garden as a place of peace and pleasure. This is one of the most favored haunts of tourists in springs and early summer. A few steps above from here, and we are led to the second terrace, which forms the ground floor of the Baradari. This typically built pavilion houses the world-famous Royal Spring. Water of the Royal Spring has been a weakness for royals. Kings, queens, viceroys of the British India are believed to have a penchant for the water flowing from the springs of Chashma Shahi. The trend has not died down. People at present carry home the water or relish it there as a mark of freshness and natural taste. The pavilion is a marvel of skillful hands who have built it with industry and intelligence. Doors and windows are carved and designed with beauty and grace. Wood-woven walls and the khatamband ceilings speak of the rich Kashmiri tradition of yesteryears. Unshakable pillars and perforated galleries make it pulling for any passerby. Shah Jahan had built a pavilion at Chashma Shahi and laid out a little Persian garden with fountains and waterfalls. Fountains featurize the beauty of Chashma Shahi, and pure cool water splashing from them lends it the charm it's famous for. Fountains, walls and pillars of the garden bear a typical stonework on them. Skillfully engraved and elegantly carved stones add to the architectural beauty of the garden. Flowers of different color and kind are strewn over the garden, making it as fragrant as ever. In all the 4 seasons of the year, the garden blooms with different varieties of flowers. Daisies, daffodils, sunflowers, marigolds, garden flashes with fragrance and visitors love it. The garden has been a favorite place to shoot for people of cinema and television alike. From small television programs to mega-budget Bollywood films, Chashma Shahi has been one of the beautiful spots to choose for shooting. Landscape of Chashma Shahi and the sight it provides makes a nature lover gaze at the charms of nature, taking delight and enjoying to the full. Here do we halt our journey. In the next part of the program, we're going to take you to Nishad and Shalimar, the two more exciting Mughal gardens,